Hello everyone, my name is Teramis, community creator for Infinity Wars. This is a pretty special video today and there's a lot to it. We're going to go over what's happening in the entire month of October and a special hint of what kind of an announcement you can look forward to in November. So what's happening? Something's happening to my screen. Wow, that was weird. Let's get to the news, shall we? So like I said, October is going to be a big month. First and foremost is something our testers and veterans have been waiting for a long time. A balance patch. I know. Hold your applause, please. Thank you. The balance that is being implemented has been sorely needed for quite some time now. It's a big change to the game, but it's one that we feel better emphasizes our desired direction for Infinity Wars, and is heavily influenced by the players that take part in these discussions on our forums. Now we're going to move into an interview with CEO Elfie Coyle and lead designer Ian Underwood. This goes over pretty much every major feature this month. We'd like to welcome Ian Underwood and Elfie Coyle, co-creators of Infinity Wars.
Hey James.
How you going?
This is a question for Elfie. Elfie, as the visionary leader of Lightmare Studios, I'd like to know why, in your mind, Infinity Wars exists. What purpose does it serve with the rest of the TCGs coming out in this world?
Sure. Even though we're just a small indie company, at Lightmare we wholeheartedly believe in our principal pillars, and one of them is breakthrough creation. So as avid TCG gamers ourselves, we've been looking for years for a digital TCG that really, questioned the fundamentals of gameplay, whilst still feeling like a classic trading card game. So we started with being the first and still currently the only trading card game with every single card gorgeously animated. And we did simultaneous gameplay to deal with the pain of waiting for the other player and a trading post to completely eliminate dead turns. So we're now putting our full passion towards delivering the best digital trading card game that we can for the mid-core strategist and the hardcore TCGer. So we love that all these other games are now coming out that bring new players to the genre and keep us innovating. And given the changing digital TCG landscape, we're working quite hard at crafting an easy to pick up and play, quick and fun experience for mid-core strategy gamers. At the same time, we're also continuing to refine the cards through the balance patches that we're bringing out and tweaking out our brand new ranked mode to make it one of the most competitive and engaging games that we can for the hardcore trading card gamer.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your response. Ian.
Yo.
As the lead designer working on Infinity Wars, how excited are you for the game, knowing what you do about its inner workings and being able to shape it with your own two hands? How does it feel to do this kind of a game for the players of the modern age?
I'm super excited for Infinity Wars. You talk about players of the modern age, and I think that by bringing the game to digital, we can do all sorts of things that aren't possible in the traditional medium, stuff that I've always wanted to see in trading card games forever. So I think that is a great opportunity, and I'm really happy to be making this game.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We're excited for it too. Here we see a list of the updates coming in this clearly large month of October for Infinity Wars. I'd like to go over them point by point. So there's a new deck builder coming into the game. Why is there a need for this in this phase of the beta? What are you looking to give the players by having this new renovation in the game?
Well, one of the things that we believe at Lightmare is constant iteration. Often our first iteration of something will be just to try to get it to a point where it's workable and we can see what needs to be done with it. And we had, this is actually the second deck builder that's been in the game, and we've learned a lot, and we want to make the new deck builder very visual, have a lot of sorting tools, and as the game's gotten bigger, we've seen these sort of things that become necessary. So we think it's going to be a big win for the players, and they're going to have a lot better time making decks now.
Awesome. That sounds wonderful. So we move on to a little bit of a controversial subject called soul-binding cards. Now, this is really important for new players coming into the game. Could you tell me a little bit about what purpose soulbound cards will have?
Sure. Well, first up, our initial thoughts and intentions when we were making this game was to basically have every card earned, like have it be tradable within the game. As time's gone past, and we've had an enormous amount of feedback and even cold hard facts from the metrics, we've noticed that there's a drop off for players who feel that like the grind is too hard. They see that mountain and go, it's just way too hard to climb. So we want to help this this set of gamers that that are interested in the game but aren't necessarily like hardcore about it yet, and help them out by giving them cool cards so that they can make their decks early on and actually have some good looking things in their decks and some good functional cards in their decks. And then that obviously give them a bit of inspiration around building up over time and ease that sort of climb up that mountain. So it also still obviously serves our hardcore players as well by giving them a great set of free cards that they can build into their decks and make them their usable cards while still being able to trade their cards that they've gotten before. And dare we say it, that maybe even our casual gamer partners and friends that are vaguely interested in the game might now be able to fully enjoy Infinity Wars as well as much as we do.
And how does one acquire Soulbound cards?
Well, what we've decided is that anytime you get given a card as a reward, it will be Soulbound to you. So cards that you get when you complete different missions in the campaign or scenarios, or we're going to be doing other things like giving away cards when you level up in the game, and there's different systems for that. So basically, you'll be getting cards like that. And we're also making it so that cards that you buy through IP will be tradable. So those ones won't be Soulbound to you. That's just considered a separate type of currency. And Elfie talked about how this isn't just for the new players, I think. I think this is for something for everyone. Like, one of the most important parts of game design is giving people goals and giving them rewards for accomplishing things. And in Infinity Wars, that's cards. And one of the big problems that we're running into is that if we try giving away these rewards to people, they could just trade them away, and then maybe encourage them to just create a whole bunch of accounts and do a lot of boring grind rather than what we want them to do, which was the fun stuff. So I think that this is going to be better for everyone.
Excellent. So we're going to have the ability to invite friends into the game and receive some great rewards for that. How does one invite their friends to Infinity Wars, and what kind of rewards are we talking about?
Awesome. Well, we've got this is one of the parts of the game that we're most excited about now. We've got a fully revamped Master and Apprentice system and invite system that will now allow anyone who's currently in the game to start inviting their friends to the game and getting them under their wings and teaching them Infinity Wars. So we've got a brand new invite menu that pops up when you click on inviting a player in the game. And then basically you're going to be given, each player will be given a set of invites, or at the start we're going to have one invite that everyone will be able to use straight away. And basically you click on that invite and then you type in a person's email address, and they'll be given 24 hours to basically log in and create an account. Once those slots are full, then obviously more invites can be requested, and we'll start issuing invites over time. Lots of invites will be given out to people who've requested those invites and made that first invite successfully. And the reward is straight out simple. Basically, we're giving away 2 IP for every LP that person receives in game. So, and that's ongoing. So for as long as people, anyone that you invite to the game is actually purchasing LP, you're just going to be instantly and passively earning those IP over time. And note, this is different to the apprentice system slightly. Obviously, any invitees will automatically become part of your up to 3 maximum apprentices, but you can select up to 3 players to become your apprentice and up to 3 players to become your master. And then when you're playing with them, there's a whole bunch of new rewards that we give as well, but we'll cover that in a second.
Awesome. That sounds like a wonderful system. So you were just about to delve into the Master and Apprentice system, and I'd really like to touch on that. This is a great way for veterans and knowledgeable players to interact with newcomers to the game seeking to enjoy it for the first time. What updates are you giving to this system, and why, and what kind of rewards for these interactions can the players expect?
Well, one of the things that we're going to be doing for Master Apprentice is we're going to be making it so that when these two players play against each other, that they both receive IP and XP, regardless of who wins or loses. We really want to make sure that the Master wasn't trying to just crush the new player and really want to foster like a learning environment. One of the ways people normally learn trading card games is your friend teaches you, and that's something that we want to bring into Infinity Wars as well.
Awesome. No, that's great. It's definitely a big factor of physical card games, and it's wonderful that we're able to have that in this digital setting. So we have a pretty big announcement in terms of an Android version alpha. It's a pretty major announcement. Infinity Wars is testing the waters on mobile devices already. It's going to be awesome for the players to experience. What can they expect, and how would they get access to this alpha once it's available?
Sure, well, I have to jump in there and say it already is rather darn late. So I want to apologise on behalf of the company for it taking so darn long for us to get this mobile version out. But you know, we're doing it now. We've got it officially live as of us speaking. So by the time you're hearing this, you will be the Android alpha will be live. So do keep in mind though, it'll be extremely buggy. So we need to make headway on this as fast as possible, because we want to be playing this as much as you guys on our mobile devices. So we want to involve our testers as early on as we can. So basically, if people want to apply to be in the Android alpha, there'll be a link in the description below with a link to the forums where people can actually apply to be in that. And those will be closing 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday.
And we realize a lot of people have been really looking forward to this mobile alpha, and it has taken a while, but unfortunately video game development takes a long time to make a video game, and we really want to make sure that we have the desktop version in a place that we're comfortable with before we start working on a mobile version, because that can cause all sorts of complications otherwise. So we thank everyone for their patience, and we hope that you enjoy it.
Awesome. That sounds wonderful. It'll definitely be great to take Infinity Wars on the road with you. So we're going to have some new card art updates for specific cards, and there's some art in the game that comparatively is just lackluster. What's the reason for the art update? Are our artists just getting better over time?
Yeah, good point. They are definitely getting much better over time, as some of you guys who've been with us from the start have noticed. Even though the art is quite good, we want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward when it comes to, especially some of the art that basically gets seen by a lot of players. So we're going to be having that, transformed into newer art, but you don't have to worry about losing the old art. We're going to make sure that any of the legacy art that we have will still be available for current beta players to switch to completely for free.
Excellent. That sounds wonderful. So we're going to have a lot of single player aspects to Infinity Wars, and we're going to have a new Exiles campaign. Could you tell me what the Exiles are about? What are we to expect from them?
Well, the Exiles as a faction are all about chaos and mischievousness. A lot of their cards have a lot of random elements or a lot of high risk and reward. So we're going to try to capture that same sort of feel for the Exiles faction.
Excellent. Sounds dangerous. So we're also going to have a new tutorial and new player experience. As you guys have been touching on a lot in this interview, the community has been noting a lot that the new player experience is, suffice to say, difficult, and it feels like there's a very high level cap for a grind. Well, as everyone knows, we love listening to our players. Can you let them know how we're looking at getting this right for them and making the game better for new players?
Yeah, that's something that we've received a lot of feedback from the community, is that it can be quite difficult to get your collection up to the point where you feel that you can be competitive. So what we're looking at doing is making it so that with just a few games in each faction's campaign, you'll be able to get a full deck. And from there, if you enjoy playing with that faction, you'll be able to just earn more and more cards. With soul binding cards, we're able to just give out a lot more cards to players without worrying about damaging the economy. So, and we're also redoing the initial tutorial so that players can understand how to play the game a lot better. Another thing that we're looking at is also creating what we're calling the Academy, where we can teach some of the advanced concepts to players as they feel they want to learn about it. And we're just trying to make sure that that is all in a right spot. I think that at the beginning of our development cycle, we were focusing a lot on the core gameplay and making sure that that was all good. And now that we're in a position where we feel that that core gameplay is quite good, we can start focusing on the new player experience and making sure that they're having a lot of fun too.
Excellent, and I'm sure plenty of the new players that come in after today will be absolutely ecstatic to see all of that. So there's obviously an incentive that we want to give to people, playing our game, just enjoying Infinity Wars. And because of that grind that you guys kept talking about in the feedback from the players, we're looking at giving this kind of a reward to Infinity Wars users. What exactly are we looking at doing for these players looking to enjoy the game every single day?
Basically, since the beta first went live, we've had a bunch of feedback around the daily rewards and the different quests and systems that we've got in play. So we want to make sure that we're looking after any gamer that comes into the game, no matter what length of time they're playing. Even if they're coming in just to check their cards, or if they're coming in just to have a quick couple of games, then we want to make sure that those people are looked after and they're not sitting there struggling to try and get that daily win. So we've got a daily login bonus that will include a monthly login bonus system. It has a whole bunch of cool things with different rewards for the number of days they come in per month. And instead of the daily win, we've now got 3 daily games. And so those 3 daily games can be played against, any AI that's not puffy, or any players that are out there, any friends. You can just have those 3 games, win or lose, and get the reward. So it's looking pretty cool.
Great. So there's a lot of great factions in Infinity Wars, and everyone has their favorite. I know mine personally is Genesis Industries. What are we doing to give our players a sense of progression and personalization with the faction they love as they level up through the game?
Well, what we're doing is we're making it so that in addition to having your player level, every faction you will also have a level in. So as you play the Flame Dawn campaign, or you just play against people with Flame Dawn cards in your deck, your Flame Dawn level will go up. And each time you level up, you'll get some more cards for Flame Dawn, so that you can keep building your deck. And just try to keep giving more players more cards so that they can play what they like. So basically, yeah, as they play, they'll get the cards that they're looking to get.
Excellent. Very excited for that. So now this is something the Kickstarter and Indiegogo backers will recognize as part of some perk rewards they got. What is this all about with the digital Art Tome? Can any user get it in some way, or is it just limited to backers for now?
So we're looking at doing, just as a side note, we're looking at doing a possible Slacker backer setup as well, depending on interest and response. So people can feel free to make a post about that in the forums to request that. But currently there will be no other way for someone to get a copy of this tome other than having been a backer. And obviously keep in mind those high level backers will start to see their physical copies of the art tomes coming out soon as well. So that's cool. We do want to make it basically a living book if we can over time, so we can actually add more art to it. So for the digital copy of that, we're going to try and make that still available for any of the backers as time goes by, as a bit of a thanks for bearing with us and sticking with us through the development cycle.
Absolutely, and all of them have been great for us. So we've got something that we promised to our players back in that Kickstarter. We promised them that there would be new cards available to them, pretty much every new week. What's happening with showing off cards from the 3rd set, Infestation, and how can players see them and obtain them?
Sure. Well, the new set Infestation is certainly now going to be making its way into players' hands in the coming days. So now that Rise is fully settled, it's time to start bringing out some more new cards every week. So word of warning: the Infestation is the beginning of the end for some of the people in the Infinity Wars multiverse. So you keep that in mind and watch as the floodgates open and we're getting these sleepers that are wide awake now. So it's pretty exciting in the lore.
Excellent. Everyone loves a good story, right? Especially when it involves horrific zombies. So, in closing... Exactly, cybernetic zombies. Yeah. So, in closing, Ian, what are your thoughts on this update overall? Are you excited for the direction we're going in?
Yeah, absolutely. this update is the consolidation of a lot of things that we've been working on for a while, and we've kind of been bunkered down lately and just working on this update so that we can get everything and get it ready to a point where we feel that we can open up the game to the public at large, much more than we currently are. So we're very excited to see what's going to happen and to see the game grow even further.
Yeah, we're actually quite pleased with where it's going right now, and I'm very pleased with these updates that are coming up soon. So it'll be pretty exciting to have players of all types being able to come in the game and actually enjoy it a lot more now. And this is the time where we're finally getting some level of breathing room to try and bring you guys all the features and polish that we want to bring into the game. So now is the time to like get your mates into Infinity Wars and show off just how cool our favorite TCG is becoming. So
excellent. We'll be very glad to have all of these new demographics and new players in the game interacting with each other and really building up that meta. I want to thank you both for joining me today. It was a wonderful interview.
Thanks a lot for your time, James.
Yep, thanks, James.
I want to thank all of you watching this video for joining us today in the studio. Until next time, we'll see you on the battlefield.